Hey, how's it going? This is part 2 of our 2-part episode. So if you're clicking on this first and you haven't seen the beginning of part 1, definitely check that out over on the channel. It will be labeled so that you can see it there, and hope you enjoy the show. Take it easy. Speaking of crazy space talk, as in being high and talking about the universe and everything weird.
Ooh.
Those pictures, if anyone out there hasn't noticed,
Fake.
heard,
Fake
or
as fuck.
huh?
Fake as fuck.
The pictures?
I don't know.
I was hoping you had some juicy news. I was like, okay,
No,
what?
I was just fucking screaming fake as fuck.
Fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
Listen, we moved on from Trump. We don't need to say fake news. All
Fake
right?
news.
We don't need to
No,
incite.
those fucking photos are incredible, dude.
Yeah, the ones I've saw were like there was like 4.
Incredible, dude. The nebulas fucking shit that they were getting, I was just like, okay, fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's insane. And I saw a TikTok from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
The fucking goat.
Yeah, he was talking about like the size of those pictures. He's like, if you want to know how much space that is like within the universe, he said, hold up a grain of salt. It was either salt or sand. He's like, hold that up and point it to the sky. And he goes, that's the amount of space that picture covers.
That's crazy.
He goes, to put it in perspective. And I was like, that is crazy. Because
it's wild.
They said that one of those was like another galaxy or some shit.
Yeah, multiple galaxies, dude.
Like, it's crazy. And I find it very coincidental that the same time we're getting these pictures is around the same time we just fired up the Hadron Collider.
This is an outlandish coincidence.
Or Hadron Collider, however the hell you say it. I can't. Falafel. I can't say it.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. I didn't think about that. But see, some of these pictures too, like the whatever they call, like the nebula in it.
Mm-hmm.
Shit looks like it could be like, this is like a stretch probably,
and
like a creature.
I gotta pull them up because I had them on my phone from when you were sending to me, because I can't pull it up on my computer screen, unfortunately, because I got to check it into savings, and the way that these screens work, it just won't move over. And
yeah, takes a few days. I understand.
It's a weekend.
Yeah, man, it's wild. Some of these photos. I did love. People are sharing that post. It's like, however far away it is, like 400 some billion light years away, and then it says security cam from 10 feet away, and it's like a fuzzy photo of a guy in a mask. And then we got this clear picture of this guy. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like the differences in technology, and you're like, why do we even bother?
Yeah.
What's crazy is if you look at those pictures, one thing I noticed is that some of them, you know how like in most movies they depict space as just black.
Black. If I don't say it, I'll pass out.
And then like the stars are obviously the white parts, sprinkled in like salt. But these pictures that they're getting, and I don't know if it's because of the type of telescope or whatever they're using, it looks like the way they depicted space back in like the 60s and 70s in like movies and television. Very bright and
I know,
and like exposure with like the stars.
Is that not what I sent you? I was like, this shit looks like it's out of a movie.
Yeah.
Like it literally the one with the nebula going across, and then like you see the stars clear as day above it. That looks like it's like literally a screen grab from like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
If you could tell me like, oh, this is a concept art of space from Guardians of the Galaxy, I would completely believe you.
Yeah, because it looks literally out of this world. Not even trying to be funny. Like it's just mind-boggling. But I found it very interesting that the old way that we used to think space looked, or how we depicted it, is literally how these pictures came out.
Yeah. I'm fucking telling you, dude. It makes you think about aliens, dude.
Visitors essentially mated with Earth women.
There's a lot.
Aliens have always been depicted the same way throughout history. Isn't that weird? It fucking blows my mind.
In different cultures that have never communicated with each other until later on in the world. I know we talked about it a long time ago when we were still doing like our CIA and Egyptian and alien discussions.
Yeah.
So if anyone's interested in that, you can always go back to those episodes. We've got those too.
Those are wild.
We did a lot of series on those, but the stuff that they got coming out now, see, this is the type of shit I wish that we would focus on in like just the world. Like we've got so much potential out there. If we all just like put that shit aside, and I know I'm sounding like a hippie right now, like world peace so we can move together, man.
If a lot of people loved each other, the world would be a better place to live.
But like, no shit. Like we have all this technology. We got self-landing rockets that one guy decided that we could do it. And then he got a team
Elon,
and he did
baby.
it. Yeah. And then it's like,
And then another guy did it, but made his rocket look like a
Dick,
Yeah.
take a look out of starboard.
Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Pecker!
Oh, where?
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Privates! We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Wang, pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
dick.
Yeah, he came with big dick energy, man. I mean, what do you get? He's Bezos. He was like, look at the size of that cock. But
Watched Austin Powers. He was like, we can make this happen.
it just it blows my mind that we don't focus on that. We're so worried about this planet that we're already on when we've got an entire universe and all these galaxies that we could be exploring or doing things. And we're sitting here fighting over oil and the same places that we've existed for how many centuries.
Yeah.
It's,
Dude, what's even wild? We don't even explore our own planet, dude. There's something like fucking 7% of our oceans have been discovered. Like,
Yeah.
how's that possible?
and think about how
Like,
long.
how's that actually possible?
I want the truth!
Well, and also you think about how long ago we were actually putting people down in the ocean, and we still haven't been able to reach certain depths. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
I just recently happened, like a year or two ago. They touched the bottom of the one part. I think it was of the Atlantic. Like they actually made contact with the surface for like the first time, and there was like a fucking Dorito bag on the surface or some shit, like one of those snack size.
Yeah.
And they were like, it took us this long to finally get down here. You get down here and you see like what the humans are doing to this planet. Like that thing's probably got down there way before we did. You know what I mean? Like it's wild.
It is, and there's stuff down there that we can't explain, like we're talking about. I know on one of Joe Rogan's podcasts, I don't know how long ago it was, they were talking about some like weird, long tentacled, like squid alien looking thing that was down in like the deep depths. That literally it extended like the length of like a house.
That's a huge bitch!
And it was just floating, and like they'd never seen it before. Like it's never been documented. And if you look at the pictures online, I'll have to show you sometimes. I'll probably put it here on the bottom. It's freaky looking.
Yeah. There's some wild shit down there. There's like translucent fish and shit.
Because then there was sun.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, bro.
Like they
I know, man.
I know that there's still conspiracies. Obviously, it's a conspiracy because, Megalodon, we know the movies and all the funny stuff that comes along with that. But there was a shark prehistorically that size, like back in the day. Like they found proof of it scientifically. And
they found some proof of it now.
That's what I'm saying. There's still talk that like it could possibly exist.
Yeah, they were following that one on Shark Week. I think it was last year.
What are you doing? It's Shark Week.
Where they were like, they're like, it's so much bigger than a great white. Like, it could be a megalodon. Like, just don't know because it can't, kill it. They can't find it.
Speaking of great whites, I just heard a story recently that I think it's somewhere in Australia, like or wherever killer whales are able to go. I'm dumb when it comes to marine biology, so this is what you get when I'm talking about anything.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a pack of killer whales that have been like hunting down great whites in this area. I know what you're gonna think.
Cracks stray dogs controlling most of the major cities, dude.
Hi, I'm Rookie Bobby.
And I'm Cal Naughton Jr.
We like to have a lot of laughs on the racetrack, but today we want to talk about something serious. Packs of stray dogs that control most of the major cities in North America. Remember, if you see a stray dog, don't call the authorities. Approach it yourself.
Some simple tips that can help you in this situation are things like this. Leave a trail of meat into a box. Once the dog's in the box, beat it with a pole.
If you see a stray dog, don't call the authorities. Approach it on your own, with a rope or a broomstick.
If it's a dog you don't know, bring a pole and keep your distance.
Remember, stray dogs are not your friend. However, if you see one, walk right up to it and lay down. Stray dogs, they're not your friend. Or they could be.
Yep. It's exactly what's happening, only it's killer whales. And I guess they've been killing so many great whites in this area that great whites usually reside in Australia or wherever it is, that they're actually like leaving now. And I guess they're like moving them out
wild.
because these killer whales.
Are they orchids?
Yeah, like orca killer whales. The ones,
Free
you know,
Willy
free
out there fucking up sharks.
He's a free Willy.
Oh, P. Diddy.
Oh God. Yeah, that's crazy that you don't think of, you know, killer whales like that, even though they have the name. You always think of like great whites as like the worst thing you want to like.
Well, dude, SeaWorld kind of fucking destroyed that. Like seriously, you watch documentaries on orchids and they're like fucking vicious creatures. But like, you know, you grow up and you're like, oh, it's a SeaWorld fucking, they're Free Willy. I mean, come on, he fucking loves kids. Come on, man.
He lets small white children ride on the back in the middle of the ocean.
They're fucking sweet as fuck looking too.
They are, but what's
black and white.
That scares me is those fake eyes that they have.
I know.
Like, can you imagine being in some murky ass water and you see that like creeping around and you just see, it just makes me want to get. There's certain things, I don't know what it is. I have a horrific fear, phobia, whatever you want to call it, of like the depths of the ocean. Something about just the darkness of nothingness down there freaks the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Even when I watch like documentaries on like the Titanic, where they show like the boat down there and they're like filming it at the bottom of the ocean, it scares the living hell out of me. I don't know why. It just makes me so uncomfortable. I'm triggered.
I mean, it's unknown, man. It's an unknown.
Then that's what it is. Like, I don't know.
Well, how long before they just tell us that aliens exist, dude?
I don't know. Because we were supposed to get that before. And they were just like, yeah, there's things that fly in the sky and we don't know where it went. And they're like, there you go. Okay,
just
thanks.
Wild to me. Just wild. That's the most fascinating thing to me. Egyptians, fucking aliens, dude.
I want there to be more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just.
Well, that's the thing too. Is it really like this evidence that points to that, or is it just like that you want it, that you almost give yourself that confirmation bias when looking at things like this is what it means type shit instead of like looking at it critically? I don't know, because I do want it to exist. So I always look at that stuff with a grain of like, oh man, this points to pretty obvious answer to me, you know, because that's what I want. You know what I mean? It's like all very interesting, very interesting.
It's like that validation. You want to know that like you haven't wasted time thinking about this, like that it is a reality some way, somehow.
Right.
Even if you're disappointed.
I did see this wild shit theory that like, because we have no explanation for the pyramids, the city of Atlantis, all this shit, and all this advanced stuff, the Mayans, like how were these people so advanced without the technology? Like, it was this whole theory that back then we were more advanced then than we were now. And there was like a cataclysmic event that happened, like Göbekli Tepe or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, not sure how it's pronounced, but like something that happened that just completely reset civilization. Like almost like the dinosaurs, you know, something happened, they ended up going extinct, they didn't survive. Something happened to the earth with humans, but somehow, you know, hunter-gatherers survived, kind of started building up these communities again, because that's how they naturally knew. Like they already had that known with them because we were already advanced to that level.
Yeah.
And then we're just kind of slowly getting back to where we were, which would be wild, bro. It would be fucking wild if that was the case. Like, I want to get to a point where we have time travel, man. I need to know.
It would be nuts if, okay, just to end this on a fun note, if you had like a one shot, don't say one opportunity. Don't.
I would seize every moment
and give it everything you ever wanted.
I'd get everything I ever wanted.
Don't lose yourself in the moment, okay?
Yeah.
But if you had one chance to time travel, like a one-way trip there and back, you didn't have your time to wherever you were going was as long as you wanted, but you had one charge there, one charge back, kind of like the whole Deadpool 2 thing. You know,
That's tough.
you had a watch. What do you think you landed on? You could even give me top three on where you'd go.
Top three
places or time periods or whatever that you would like to go, and it could be future too. I always love this question.
Top three, definitely. I would go back some point during stories of the Bible when Jesus Christ was supposedly walking this earth in that area, just to see like what that was about, like,
or if it was real.
Yeah, not necessarily real, because I do believe there was probably a guy named Jesus who did some fucking incredible things, and that's why he was hung and had a cult following. But you see it in like modern times where people will just follow someone just as they say a certain thing. You know what I mean?
Trump.
Yeah. There you go. I mean,
I'm really rich.
So it could have been that. Like, that guy could have been a con artist ahead of his time. Who knows? Like, none of us actually know.
God's a con.
I do find it funny that there's a book that we just trust, like, unequivocally. We trust. There's like how many different versions of it. It's been lost in translation, probably how many times it's been translated from its original text. Like, who actually knows if that's fact?
Yeah.
So I'd probably go back to that time period a little bit. Plus, I love the Knights Templar. That fucking shit fascinates me.
The Crusades and stuff.
Actually, I would go back to the day. If I'm going back to a biblical period, I would go back to when the Templars stopped looking for the Holy Grail. I want to know exactly why they stopped. Did they find it? Did they find something else? Because, Friday the 13th is actually stems from the king fucking turning on them and having the Templars killed and all that shit. Blah, blah, blah. I would go back to that because I am fascinated by the Templars.
It's interesting shit.
2, I'm going to Egypt. There's no fucking way in hell I'm not going to Egypt.
I figured you would.
Yeah. That's probably my number 1 destination.
You can get a lot of info from that one.
Oh, just so much, man.
Because there's so much to tie to it.
The problem is I just don't even know what time period I would go to.
If I was to say what would be a good time is the beginning of whatever you're trying to know, and then try to survive throughout, so you can get as much, cover as much ground. But that would be
maybe the building of the Great Pyramid. Like, how did we determine this location? Because it's so pinpoint on this planet with space and everything. And then I'm going to save my third one. I want you to answer. I want you to give me 2, and then I'll give you my third. My third is going to be you're going to be like, where did that come from?
All right. So first I want to point out, I think it's funny. I just realized whenever we talk about time travel and going to points in time or places, no one ever thinks like you want to go to Egypt. They ain't going to be speaking English.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
So it's like,
I'm assuming I have the technology to where when I say something, it'll be in their language, and when they talk to me, it'll be in my language.
It's all right. You got the,
Have you seen a movie?
Do you speak any English?
Come on.
You got the Google Lens. You can just translate from your glasses. It's fine.
Exactly.
Text to speech.
Come on, man.
All right. So I was thinking about this as I was listening to yours, not to kill time, because I also had to figure it out, because it is a difficult question. It's very hard to decide.
It is very difficult.
In no specific order of importance, I would say one would obviously, I would want to go back when the JFK assassination happened. I just, for some reason, I've always wanted to know the truth on that. It's such a specific thing. I know there's all these.
You know the truth. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, I want to see it with my own eyes. Literally, no pun intended. I want to just be there. I wouldn't stop it because I don't.
That'd be wild.
I don't like the butterfly effect. I don't want to fuck with that. So in any scenario or place I go, I ain't doing that. I would see it play out, but I would just know.
I don't know why everyone believes that, but that isn't true. Think about it. If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future. And your former present becomes the past, which can't now be changed by your new future.
Exactly. So Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit?
Okay, quick question before you get to your next one.
Okay.
What if, because you brought up the butterfly effect, what if you went back in time to see that and then it didn't happen, like the shot missed? Would you just stand there and be like, this is not how this is supposed to go? Like,
Okay, see, this is why we needed a plan.
I guess I gotta help and take the shot.
like,
he has to die.
This is how it happened. Someone went back in time and killed the president.
It was me all along. Can you imagine
the fucking pretzel that would be in your head this whole time?
Oh, it would literally be that would be, you could turn that into like a dark comedy, obviously, because it's dealing with the assassination of a president, but it would be funny to make like a crazy time travel movie like that, where like every significant event in history was really someone going back to see what truly happened, and then they caused what they read and they realized it was them the whole time. Like it was just destiny. That would be funny.
It's like it's almost like, this is a fucking total weird connection. That's So Raven. She would have those visions, and then they would happen because she would try to stop them, but in trying to do that, she would create them.
Yeah, no matter what she did, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
She saw the inevitable, basically.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be my first because that's like my most polarizing political like curiosity when it comes to that.
I like it. That's a great one.
And then it's kind of funny, and this might be a throwaway, but it's just because I want to feel that enjoyment. I would go back to when the Browns were playing with Jim Brown, and I would go to one of those games, one of those historic games, to see that in person, to have that feeling as a sports fan before
domination,
before it all went to shit. Like I want to go see the glory of my team because of what it's become. And so some people that may be a waste of a time travel trip, but hey, I don't give a fuck.
Hey, you're time traveling. It's supposed to be self-fulfillment.
My third is a doozy too.
Third is a doozy.
It's a doozy.
Well, I'll tell you this, dude. As you were saying your first one, it made me think of one that would fucking rival what I was gonna say.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say honorable mention. Honorable mention.
All right.
I think it would be sweet to go back and just watch the founding fathers like create America. Like
that would be
sit
dope.
in that room and just hear those discussions and shit.
America, fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah.
That would be fucking incredible, because those guys are like our age. Like guys our age like wrote the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and like built a country. Like it's fucking fascinating.
Yep.
But my fucking one that's just like fucking out of left field. Maybe if you know me, it's not out of left field, but I would go back and I would want to study and talk and learn from Nikola Tesla.
That
guy was so fucking brilliant, and so many of his inventions and his ideas were fucking stolen by the government when he died. And a lot of his shit was based off of using the earth to create natural free energy, and his studies that we have documentation of, they fucking work. Like I remember growing up as a kid and like they would do it on the History Channel. They're like, will this work? We put this in the ground and it's just connected to this Nikola Tesla old school conductor. Will it light this light bulb 100 yards away through the ground? And it fucking does. And it's like, why? Like we were doing that fucking 10 years ago. Like how are we not there? Like how are we not there yet?
I know.
And then you see Elon Musk, and he talks about he's got that fucking factory, and he's like, 100 of these could probably power the world.
It's science.
Yeah, I remember that.
Why? What? That's the type of shit where I get pissed off at Elon. Is I'm like, let's stop fucking worrying about fucking Mars, and let's get like this planet on track, bro. Like, stop trying to just jump ship before this planet's fucked. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of that has
a little bit of a rant there. Got a little bit fired up.
I mean, hey, we're talking about going to big points and possibly changing something. It's a big deal, but I think a lot of why he worries elsewhere is because he figures that it's so like just ingrained to like fail here, like that people aren't going to change, or at least change fast enough, that he's just like written it off, and he's like looking to the future. He ain't looking to fix current shit.
Yeah.
Because he knows that he's gonna, have adversity. So why would he fight people that want positive change? He's like, why am I gonna waste my time and energy? At least that's how I perceive it.
Oh, it's 100% how it is. I just watched a podcast with Mark Cuban on it, and he knows Elon a little bit, and he was saying, congrats to Elon on his latest kid. And he was like, you know, how many are you going to have or something like that? And he said Elon's text back to me was somebody's got to populate Mars. And it's like, that's this guy's fucking thinking, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he legitimately thinks he's getting ready to populate the next planet.
I mean, he's got the type of ambition that I wish more people would have, as far as like scientists and leaders, to like go elsewhere. Like, let's get further. Kind of like what we're talking about, like going across time, you know, possibly the future and all that shit. But as far as my third, I had a cross between two, but I ended up going with this one because I feel like this one would be a bigger impact, even though this would have butterfly effect implications. I would go back to right before 9/11 and I would find a way, whether it's fire alarm or whatever, to get that building evacuated before it was struck.
God damn, man, you're a hero.
Like, it sounds like one of those, like, yeah, patriotic, but like that would be one of those moments where I think it's possible to avoid that situation, or at least minimize the damage.
But here's the thing you got to think of. What if one of those people you save ends up becoming one of the fucking craziest killers of all time?
What have I done?
That's what I'm saying. There is things, butterfly effect, that could happen.
Weird shit you got to think of, man. Like when time travel is a thing. Like, yeah, I saved thousands of lives, but maybe you just ruin other innocent people's lives. And maybe that was supposed to happen. Destiny's a wild fucking thing to think about, bro.
Yeah, because the other one that I was struggling with, and this sounds stupid because I could die and never come back from it, but and it might be because I served as well, so I've got like that itch in my brain. But I would go back to, sounds crazy, I'd go back to D-Day, and I would go run the beach with those boys, and just fucking rain hell as best as I could. I don't know what it is about that, and I know it's a horrific moment in American history. Like, it was not something that anyone wanted to be a part of.
Bro.
I understand that. I am not downplaying that whatsoever. I understand it's very weird that I would say that, but part of me, like, you know, when you want to like go back or do something or be a part or like do your part, like that's the whole point of it.
That's that army mind fuck that you got during basic training and shit. Like, they fucked your brain up, bro.
Because there's nothing more badass and heroic, even though it was a very scary time, like I said, and it was death and war, that I would love to just like, it's like you stand by those men, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because they've given me what they've given me today, so I would like to go back and at least do my part. It's weird.
Let's do one more. You get one shot.
Okay.
Didn't say it?
No, I was going to hold back.
You can go anywhere in the world right now, this current time, and like, whether it's like our government, go to Langley, read documents, you know, you can gather intel from anywhere in the world right now. What do you think you'd want to know about? Like, would you go to figure out if 9/11 was an inside job? Like, what, like, would you go just to confirm, even though we already know Pearl Harbor, you know, happened because our government let it happen? Like, what would you want to know? I wouldn't even go to our government, by the way. I would go to the Vatican. I want to go to the Vatican. I want to go in there. I want to read some documents, bro.
It's kind of where I was going. I was thinking outside of the U.S. because, I mean, personally, I know the U.S. is corrupt. I mean, we're obviously, in my opinion, and everyone has their own, we're the best country on the planet, but we're still fucked in our own way. So I wouldn't care because I'm like, if I found out stuff, I'd be like, I'm not surprised. Like, I have an answer, but I'm not surprised. Vatican would be a good one just because of how deep religion.
Dude, just so much history and fucking supposedly, like, there's documents from the great library and fucking from Cairo and shit in there before it burnt. Like, fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
You're like a kid in a candy shop walking in there.
Oh, it'd be insanity. It would be crazy. I don't know. That's tough because there's like so many. I'd love to go to North Korea and steal information from there. I'd love to go to Russia and take information from there. Like something about like these places that
Kremlin, dude. You just want to be inside the Kremlin. Let's be honest.
They got really long tables, man. They're pretty impressive. I mean, that man.
I've seen Mission Impossible, bro.
I get one of those digital face remaskers that Tom Cruise has, you know. No, I don't know. It would just, there's something about
it's the unknown, bro. It's the same thing we were talking about with the fucking depths of the ocean and space. It's the fucking unknown.
It's just weird. It's really weird. I mean,
makes you feel some type of way.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million different places that we could talk about that I would love to go to, but then spend hours on that. Yeah, those are my answers. That's all I got.
I like it. I like it, dude. I like it.
All right. Is there anything else you want to discuss or talk about before we wrap this up here?
No, man, I am excited. I'm gonna fucking binge the shit out of the Resident Evil show that we talked about earlier, and
yes, me too. Definitely.
I'm sure we're gonna get more pictures from this fucking telescope because they're coming like crazy every day. So
yeah, definitely gonna have to keep an eye on that. So we'll probably update next week, depending on if any more info comes out. We'll talk about it because I mean it is a big deal. I mean, the going outside of the planet is always a big deal to me. So
yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, like we said, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. As always, make sure you follow us over on our social medias, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the good stuff. You can join us over here in Discord as well. The link will be in Facebook. You can find it there or attached to the video. I will make sure if I can to get that here on YouTube as well. And let us know in the comments below where you would travel to in time, anywhere interesting that you would want to go or fix or, see happen, anything like that, and what you think of the new space photos that have come out. Obviously, we've got a lot of scientists and big name people that are going to be discussing, the significances of these pictures and things like that, kind of like we were just blowing over today. But yeah, let us know what you think is going on. You stay fucking beautiful, and we will see you next week.
Stay classy.
Take it easy.